Please make welcome Executive Director of the Southwestern Commission and Rural Center Board member, Sarah Thompson, along with Jamilla Hawkins, the Rural Center's Senior Program Manager of Food and Community Development. Welcome, Sarah and Jamilla.
Good morning.
Good morning.
From the Appalachian Mountains to the coastal plain, our climate and landscape provides for a variety of agricultural products in North Carolina. One perfect example of innovation in the food business sector would be the Waynesville Soda Jerks. They are the producer of a value-added, local handcrafted artisan beverage in Western North Carolina. I joined the Rural Center staff in July to help lead the development of the growth in this food sector industry. In 2016, the Rural Center partnered with the United States Department of Agriculture to assist food-based businesses and to also strengthen the local food systems in the Upper Coastal Plain, Sand Hills, and Southwestern region of our state. To date, we have provided over 87 food-based scholarships, and each region has 2 to 3 projects that they are working on to strengthen the local food system in their region. Sarah Thompson, the Executive Director of the Southwestern Commission, will share with you some of the awesome work that's going on with this project in her region.
Good morning. Good morning. So as part of this project, we were tasked with 2 main things: to provide technical assistance to agribusinesses in our region and to develop some strategic initiatives around those. So we have been doing some agriculture work in the past, and I often was asked by the economic developers in the region, why agriculture? We're in the mountains, so it's not like Eastern North Carolina where we have lots of flat acres to grow things. But I've always related with the local food economy in my region because I really see how it affects the small towns that we live in through the farmers markets and the farm-to-table restaurants and a lot of the stuff Vivian talked about yesterday. One good market or one good restaurant can really help revitalize the small town. So for the technical assistance part of the project, we connected the food and ag businesses to resources that they weren't quite used to using, such as the small business centers at the community colleges. This project gave scholarship funds to the tune of $300 to a business that needed just a little bit of training. For example, if you want to sell your pickles at a farmer's market, you have to get some special training, and that training can cost $500. You have to sell a lot of pickles to get that investment and training back. So just a little bit of scholarship funding can really help get that business to the next level. And also just connecting them with small business training that farmers aren't quite used to getting, but they are businesses and they can use some technical help working through a business plan. And the community colleges and even the SBTDC at the university have been able to help those folks. We also have a lot of resource providers in the region for agriculture, but they don't always talk to each other. So you have cooperative extension, farm credit, all sorts of different folks that work in agriculture, but unless they're in the room understanding what each other do, then when someone comes to them with a question, if they don't know the answer, the business might go off and not really get what they need. So we've been convening that group of resource providers, such a simple way to create a stronger network in the region so there's no wrong door. When someone comes to one agricultural resource provider, they get sent to the resource that they need. Another strategic initiative we've undertaken is around storytelling. So we held 11 listening sessions around the region. And through those listening sessions, we've identified over 500 food-related businesses in our 7-county region. That alone was a big eye-opener for the communities themselves. They might not have realized before those sessions that they had such a strong local foods economy, which helped. An example of that was Joe Deal in Macon County. He's a third-generation family farmer whose grandfather grew tobacco, his father grew tomatoes, and now he grows all sorts of produce and has a CSA membership-based community sustainable agriculture program. He also does agritourism in the fall with a corn maze. So it's a really cool example of the evolution of a family farm in rural North Carolina. Another example that we discovered through our sessions was just connecting people together. There was a farmer's market manager who met a young man who runs the daycare program at a church. They realized they shared a passion for the local foods movement. They realized the church has a highly underutilized kitchen, and now they've created a commissary kitchen in the community for the market and the vendors there. It's a lot about just connecting people and finding out what you have and telling the stories. So our excitement and success on this was recently built upon by, we leveraged this project for an additional grant from the Cherokee Preservation Foundation for $20,000. And we're gonna tell our stories even further with those funds. And we're gonna create some videos that tell the local food story of the region. We've already created a marketing platform for the region around economic development through our Mountain West partnership. And so now we'll be able to create videos around the local food sector. We've already have some marketing videos on education and on industrial development and on all sorts of different things, and now we're gonna have local foods as part of that initiative too. So we're grateful for the Rural Center for the opportunity to dive a little deeper into the local food system in our region, and I am just a really big believer that this movement can really revitalize our downtowns, our small towns. Just as Vivian said last night, sometimes all it takes is one great farm-to-table restaurant to get your town on the map. So thank you very much.